What's going on, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music for the first time as a musician myself. Today's the debut, and the only request I have for this game, this is Papo and Yo, original soundtrack by Brian De Oliveira. We're going to be listening to A Strange New World, followed by Relax, Why Don't You? Both from the channel Obscure OSTs, requested by AndresRose, who recently has drawn me as Kirby. If you look at my third channel, is it up here? Yeah, it's actually here. It's the first time I announced it. Jesse's Guitar Archive. I did a video for SMT5, and you'll see like a custom Kirby of me. So, yeah, check out AndresRose art. I've never heard of this. Also, they left me a description of what this is, but knowing me, I don't like to know these things. So I'll read it afterwards, but for now, I'm just going in with no knowledge at all. I've never heard of this game. I don't know what it consists of, when it came out, what it's on, nothing. But this is Papo and Yo, A Strange New World. It's also track 1, so probably the first thing we hear. It already sounds live. Yeah, these are humans playing. Sounds like we're in the forest or some exotic location. Ooh. Little descending run again. Up. Nice little easy melody. Anyone can learn that. Is that is that this instrument right here? There's so many variances of flutes, I don't know what's what anymore. There's definitely some like Latin America flair there. But it just was funny because I was just talking about Cuban music in the last video. It definitely sounds outdoors. Like we're outdoors. Oh, it's over. Any animal experts know what that is? I think that was an animal. Okay. So immediately I'm getting this whole like just sense of just raw nature. Like we're like some civilization out in the middle of nowhere. You can like just the clothes, everything made by from like trees and stuff. I have no idea. Feathers, wooden flute of some kind. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be like Spanish, like Papo and Yo. Like the Spanish in me wants to say like that's like father in me, but it's using English. It has the ampersand, so I don't know. Yeah, I just really felt like I was in the middle of like rainforest or something, and since it's track 1, I mean, obviously, it's the whole introduction to the game. So I would have to assume if it was made in the past 20 years, there's probably no intro movie. So it's probably like new game and then boom, that. Whatever that is. Probably like a little mini cutscene or introducing the characters or like a world view or something. Now I'm actually curious on what I should have read what they said. But okay, I enjoy this kind of stuff. I don't hear enough of it, but I really like it because you can tell it all sounds like handmade, you know. Even though there's like real instruments, you can tell it just has like an organic kind of sound, and that's really cool. Excuse me, I had a little cough fit. But even the guitar sounded a little like too organic. You know what I mean? It sounded like it was made out of like tree bark. This is track 14. This is Relax. Why don't you? It's a lot longer. 5 minutes. Let's go. Let's do what the song says. Let's relax. Nylon strings, or some kind of animal hide. A little bit of a lullaby feel. Egg shaker. Ooh. A lot of people don't know this, but my first instrument was the flute. I love the sound of the flute, but I especially love the wooden flute sound. Damn. Just the fact that that's someone's like breath control. It's like almost you're speaking a different language, you know what I mean? Instead of using their breath for ooh, yeah, they're using it to shape the vibrations in the air. That's so cool. Ooh. Not your traditional video game music, but it's still like... You guys remember the infomercial that would come on TV called Pure Moods? It's kind of reminding me of that, but it's cooler. A lot of flute sounds. Different flutes, different sizes. This sounds like a really mystical kind of life journey kind of game. Okay, fine. I'll read what this is about after. I'll read it later. I'm trying to imagine what kind of game would have this, like a puzzle game. If it's an action game, that'd be kind of odd, but not too out of place. I'm thinking of like a low thinking game, just problem solving, or maybe even like a city builder or something. Yeah, I could see that actually. There's one thing it's reminding me of, but not really. Slightly. Outer Wilds. But I think it's mostly like the environment, you know? It's nice hearing all these like critters and stuff. It's a little foreboding too. It feels like not a place you want to be. There's a cool rhythm here. Boom, 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 boom. Everything sounds so good too. Great mixing. You can really hear the human touch, the fingertips, the breathing, you know. I have this theory that I think every human in the world likes stuff like this, like music like this, stripped down, that we can all relate to because we're all capable of doing it. You know what I mean? Regardless of what genres you like, we can all appreciate like the human element of creating sounds. I always think about this kind of stuff. What's going on in this game? I really like the last like minute or two of that song. All right, before I read what's going on here, just to elaborate further on what I just said. Of course, it's just an assumption, but I'm trying to think of it like, say right now we live our lives where we know what we want, we know our likes, our dislikes, all that. But I'm talking about maybe imagine if you were born before anything, no phones, no nothing, just water and I don't know, rocks, stuff like that. Or let's go a little bit further, just very, very little technology. You know, are you telling me that you wouldn't enjoy like the presence of dum 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 dum, you know, just something to change up the monotony of, and like what was the only thing back then? Talking, like making a language at the time. The sound of the water, the sound of air, the sound of birds. You know what I mean? So music is like must have just been this. You could tell that music was like an instant hit the moment someone decided to do like whatever, and then someone else joined. That's what I'm talking about. And this kind of feels like that to me for some reason. I don't know if it's like supposed to take place way back when, or if it's kind of just modern but in a isolated location. But it sounds like you are. The closest thing that's come to mind is the game Frostpunk, where that is a city builder game, but instead of like your city building, it's more like your city surviving from like a cold storm. And the music has this kind of like foreboding, like this winter storm's gonna take over a field. You gotta like, you know, keep yourself warm and everything. You gotta survive. This feels kind of like the equivalent of like if there's a game, I don't know if there is a game out there that exists where it's like you're not surviving, but maybe building a civilization on basically nothing. You know, just kind of one of those genres. Because I think you have to remember, not every game I do here is going to be an action game or an RPG. There's hundreds of game genres, and I have to remind myself that all the time. Right before this, I heard a racing game. Before that, I heard a Japanese turn-based RPG. You know, there's so many things, and I've done Civilizations and Frostpunks and what was it? Not XCOM, but I think just the X series. I just have to remember there's sports games. There's so many things out there. So this, I don't know. If I had to take a guess, it's either like some sort of city builder or I don't know. The music is so open-ended. It's great though. It sounds really, really good. All right, so the curiosity is taken over. I need to see what this game is about. So, from the requester themselves, Papo Enyo is an indie game released in 2012, exclusive to the PS3. Okay. And a year later, it came out to Steam. Oh. It follows a kid named Quico in a Brazilian fantastical rural world full of puzzles. As a monster follows and accompanies you through this adventure of acceptance and discovery. The atmosphere the music provides, though, it all is stunning, and the whole soundtrack, even if it lacks in variety, it conveys many nostalgic emotions that still resonate to this day. And these two tracks are a good way to present the sound palette of this game, as the game soundtrack also dwells to more darker and sometimes anger atmospheres. Huh. So that was just from them. I didn't get like the actual synopsis of the game. It made it sound like it's like an adventure game when you have a sidekick of a monster, I'm very curious now. Let me guess, is the monster's name Papo? Let's see the official description. PS3 only. That sounds like so... I don't know. How many PS3 exclusives were there? This is a crazy comparison, though. Steam gives it 9 out of 10. IGN gives it 4 out of 10. That is like... I don't know. It's IGN, though. Alright, let's read the official... so it's an adventure game developed and published by Minority Media for the PlayStation 3. The game involves... Okay, so story... Light spoilers. Synopsis. The game involves a young Brazilian boy, Quico, who, while hiding from his abusive alcoholic father, finds himself taken to a dreamlike favela. Oh, that already sounds really interesting. Favelas are so fascinating to me, dude. Those... If you don't know what favela is... First of all, look it up. I don't know how people live there or navigate those. It's just... Imagine like a mountain. But instead of any nature or grass, it's just houses upon houses upon houses. You know, you think you have a battle with your upstairs neighbor now. Imagine like neighbor here, there. Anyways, a dream-like favela. That sounds interesting. And meeting a normally docile creature monster. The player as Quico can interact with monster and manipulate the buildings of the favela in unique ways, such as by stacking individual shacks on each other to complete puzzles and progress in the game. Papo and Yo was designed by Vander Caballero, who created a story based on his own past in dealing with an abusive alcoholic father. Oh. You know, I'm not going to lie, those are some of the stories that hit like the hardest. You know, someone that's willing to dive into those topics. Because you got to think about this. I'm not going to try to go into this like philosophical thing here, because I know this could be like triggering for some. That's a really big deal, right? That's a thing that many unfortunately have to go through. But to kind of give yourself an avatar and tell your story through another character, which is basically you, that's like a quite a form of healing, you know. Again, not to get like way into it, but that's a thing that a lot of people, especially like grown men, have a hard time accepting, like the word healing, and not thinking the world has to be like tough and everything. Like, we're all human, you know, we all go through things. And it's okay to admit that, but I don't know, I feel like there's something really special in the fact that it at least makes me want to check out the game for like a play, like to watch like a let's play or something. Because as heavy as that topic is, finding a way to tell it and potentially digestible way, that sounds really intriguing to me. And now I see the music how is really just kind of carrying you through that, you know, not so much being so bombastic and everything. And that's why I really love video game music, because that's why I really, honestly, it sounds crazy, but I love what I do, because after doing this for so long, you think I get bored or burnt out. It's like, dude, there's so many stories, there's so many games, there's so many things, you know. I would have never discovered this game if it wasn't for here. So things like that, you know, that's what keeps it interesting to me. And up until 2 minutes ago, I wasn't even going to look up anything at all. I was going to wait for the comments. So I'm glad I looked it up, because now it's like, oh, okay. Well, I was totally off about the whole jungle thing, but I'm interested in this like dreamlike favela, you know? That sounds very intriguing. Anyways, let me know if you've heard about this game, if it intrigues you as well. But I really enjoyed it. It sounds really good. It sounds very highly produced, and that's enough for me. So I'll probably look into it, see if it's like a 5 or 10 hour game I can like just have a let's play watch for myself. I mean. But yeah, cool. Thank you very much, Andres. And check out Papo and Yo, which Steam likes, but IGN doesn't. Just as a side note, don't listen to what people say. I can never understand how like someone would buy something based on a big company saying that it's good or not. Anyway, that's my little rant. Thanks for the request. Thanks to everyone you see on screen. I couldn't be here without them. This is the last time I have this game on here, unfortunately, unless someone comes in and requests more, but it was nice. My name is Jesse in the auditorium. I hope you have a good evening.